going on, guys? As I said, I'm going to be making more musical related content on my channel just because, as you may have seen, I've started a band project called Valhexen. It's a fairly black metal, symphonic black metal, maybe black and death metal kind of project, and I used to do music a long time ago, and yeah, I'm just kind of getting back into it, but I wanted to explain today why I actually like black metal and sort of how I began the journey of this kind of black metal scene, and I want to talk about like why people sort of like black metal, because I mean, I've heard a lot of people from the outside sort of scene just say that, you know, the music quality is terrible and it's not very professionally made. It's usually quite obscure and underground bands that it's black metal. You know, it's quite a niche thing. Also, there's a YouTuber called Farvan or Farvan, depending how you like to pronounce it. That has like a meme where like he shows like what black metal sounds like to non-black metal heads, and it's just fucking construction noise, which I think it's very true to real life, how black metal is viewed from the outside, just satanic construction noise. But I think that black metal, for me, it's an interesting one because obviously I'm actually black, so, and there's not a lot of my guys in black metal. Actually, it's quite lonely out here for me, but I think it's because of my differentness, especially because I'm obviously black, you know, because I mean I come from London, and I don't think I've ever met another person of color that was into black metal. Maybe maybe I have, I'm not too sure, but that's besides the point anyway. But I think because when I was younger growing up, I was always into more stranger things compared to most of the other people that I was hanging out with, and I think especially in my high school years I was probably the only one who actually, no, there was other people that listened to more, perhaps old school metal and maybe more like metalcore kind of stuff. But I was like the only one who was listening to like Amon Amarth at the time, and maybe more melodic death metal during my school years. I think from me actually getting into metal in general, it was more from video games and more from like movie soundtracks and stuff like this, which led me into more heavy metal, and then eventually, I'm not too sure when, but I got into black metal by probably starting with bands like Dimmu Borgir and Dark Funeral, and others kind of like this band. Not really, I knew Immortal at the time as well, but I didn't really listen to Immortal, and I don't really listen to Immortal now either. But yeah, I started to get into this kind of black metal, and yeah, let me get onto the point of why black metal is so important to me. It was the kind of first music genre that kind of led me towards the more satanic sort of philosophical view of life, and I think out of all the metal genres, black metal has the most depth to it, just because usually the themes of the music, and I mean even the artwork, like a lot of the artwork is quite dark, it's quite I don't even want to say depressive, because like I mean I'm wearing a fucking, I don't know if you know, this is a Belphegor. I mean they're not exactly black metal, they're more black and death metal, but I still like to put them in the black metal category. But at the time as well, I would say when I was growing up, I was very into. I know this. Sorry, by the way, that this video is not very straightforward. It's been a while since I've been making videos, but yeah, at the time when I was growing up, I was very into philosophy and religion at the time as well. and I was curious about the world and all these fantastical things that religion claims to give you when you die, and why you need to obey God, and all these kind of stuff. And I think that black metal was the first thing that kind of showed me a different view um, of religion, because even when I was younger I wasn't really swayed too much by, I mean, I was swayed by it because it's, you know, it's quite dramatic, and it promises you like some awesome life after you die, and if you just obey these rules and whatnot. And yeah, I was just very interested in this kind of stuff, and I think black metal offered me a view that was kind of inherent to me, like the kind of way that religion tends to dominate your mental framework of reality, basically. And I think that, yeah, basically black metal showed me a different path and eventually led me towards Satanism, which I am a Luciferian, I would say, more than I would like to classify myself as a Satanist, though I don't mind Satanist as well. Which, if you want, I can talk more about that in another video about Satanism stuff. But yeah, and also black metal, the sound and it's very atmospheric. It's very dramatic, I would say. But it's also very like soulful. It has this kind of depth to it. All black metal, well, not all black metal, but a lot of black metal to me, especially when it comes to black metal that has an ambience to it, or has some sort of symphonic element to it, or some sort of melody to it. I mean, I like black metal without melody, just like raw, straightforward, blast beat black metal as well. But for me, I much prefer the more melodic-y, like Zargeist. I like Dark Funeral. They have some quite melodic stuff. What else bands do I like? There's a Brazilian band I was listening to recently, which I'm going to recommend you. Actually, I'm going to decide that I'm going to do like a recommendation of albums after every video. But I'm going to recommend you to listen to a band called Luxuria de Lilith. The album, I do not remember what it is called right now, but the picture is like a woman with like tentacles coming off her head, and yeah, if you'll see it anyway. It's quite hard to miss a woman with tentacles coming out of her head. But it's a very nice album. It's quite symphonic-y. It has nice rhythm to it. I like this kind of black metal. It suits my soul, let's say. But yeah, I don't think I have too much to add right now. Yeah, black metal is a very good genre, and I definitely think more people need to get into it, or not. You know, it's a personal choice if you want to. But I think it's quite a important aspect to it, and it's the aspect as well of like rebellion. You know, like this is the most, at least in this day and age, you know, since, you know, I'm 25, and this is like probably the most rebellious music I can think of. And not to say that black metal has to be rebellious, it's just inherent in its nature. Just the look of black metal, I think there is to a certain extent, like for metalheads and black metal, there is a certain lifestyle. I think that a lot of black metalheads tend to be quite deep thinkers of the more stranger things in life, and the more perhaps darkness, let's say. Yeah, I mean, that's general for a lot of metal anyway, but I think there's a more depth to black metal that is perhaps misunderstood by some people. I know a lot of Satanists listen to black metal too, so there is a big correlation there, obviously. I mean, I use Satan in my band art because I think Satan is a very inspiring and powerful figure to idolize, let's say. So for me, there's an easy connection to make between satanic view and black metal for me. but I hope this makes sense. I don't know if I have much more to add. I just wanted to add my opinion to why black metal is such a good genre to me, and it definitely makes me, especially when I listen to the music, I definitely start to think a lot more about the content, or I get into this kind of mind state which is, I just feel so dark. I mean, I don't mean skin wise. I mean, like, there's this feeling that I get when I listen to it, and I don't really get this from other genres of music, apart from maybe death metal, which comes close, because probably death metal is my second biggest genre of metal music that I listen to. So death metal was good. I mean, I'm not making a video about death metal right now, but black metal has definitely a special place for me. I mean, most of the band items I have are from black metal bands anyway, so it's a big part of my life right now, and I think it's why I've been inspired to try to also put out my own version of what black metal is to me via my own music. I'm still very new to making music right now, so if you do listen to my songs, which you can check out on my channel description stuff, there's links everywhere. If you want to, of course, you don't have to. Yeah, I think this is my contribution to black metal, and being someone who is not the typical black metal head, I think I have a uniqueness to me that sets me maybe in a different view from other genre or people or whatever, you know. But I think I'm going to end it there. I don't want to make this too long. Thank you for watching, and I will be making more videos soon. It's just I've actually moved into a new place and I'm just adjusting. The view from my room is actually very beautiful. I'm like living right across from a graveyard, which is very goth. But yeah, I enjoy it. But I hope that yeah, I hope to do some YouTube stuff, and I really would love to be able to connect with more metal people. You know, my band right now, Val Hexen, it's a one-man project, but I am hoping in one day in the future to actually have a band, like an actual black metal band, and actually make real black metal. I mean, I'm making black metal now, but I guess it's very culty black metal because it's like the one-man band project in the basement kind of style. But I would love to actually have a real band. So if you are like a guitarist, or I mean, I'm kind of practicing to be a guitarist right now and a vocalist, but if you're like a bass player or even a drummer or keyboardist or violin or whatever, yeah, hit me up, and maybe we can try and collab or something like that. And also, I'm going to recommend another band as well, because I've met these guys one time or maybe twice now in Slovenia. The band is called Marax, and they are very cool dudes, and they have a very good album or EP, I suppose. They have a few EPs. I don't know if they have a full album yet, or maybe they do. But yeah, check out the band Marax. It's M-A-R-A-X, and yeah, they are very cool dudes. I hope that I can get in contact with them again, and yeah, but that's the end of the video. I don't want to keep ranting. I hope you enjoy your day, and I will upload again soon. I can't set a perfect schedule here, but you know, I'll upload when I can, and I'm currently working on making my album or EP or whatever, so this might not be the most frequent upload, but this is just me, you know. And yeah, man, auf Wiedersehen, and truth to you all. Yeah, wait, what the fuck?